Hey guys, it's me, Papu, and when you're watching this, has been pre-recorded, but I do this when characters get updated in a new patch. I like to sort of do a little bit of a history lesson, talk about where they are in the game currently, so that way you can look back on them once they're changed, and we can see how they become better, and what their uses were before. I did this for Deadpool Cable, I did this for Thanos, I'm going to do this today for Miles Morales, Kamala Khan, and American Chavez. So I have to scroll down and find them because they're actually not that high on my roster, because I'd say 2 of the 3 of these characters are not that good. One of them is just pretty good on the right team. So first up, we have Miss Marvel. I think she's actually the best out of those 3 characters right now. She has a lot of really good stuff in her kit. Basic attack, she gains the deflect. She's a pretty tanky brawler. She has this big heal right here for her special. And then she also has this big AoE, which gives a ton of energy out to the team. Very helpful right here with her ultimate. Her passive is really the best thing in her kit. She gains assist on each hero brawler ally's turn, and then she'll get a hero brawler to assist her on her turn. Plus she'll gain taunt if a hero drops below a certain health. So she's a really good character. She synergizes incredibly well with hero brawlers. Especially the fact she's very tanky, and the fact that she literally, I mean, essentially doubles the DPS of the team because she gets to always assist. Just a very, very, very strong character on the right team. It looks like she's gonna be reworked into the Young Avengers, where now it's gonna be not only just brawlers but also Young Avengers she works with. So it's expected to make that team really good because Kamala Khan, super helpful on teams and does a lot for them. Next up, we have America Chavez. She's another character that's going to be reworked to go into the Young Avengers team. I'd say she's like Kamala Khan, but like less good. She has it's an okay basic attack, defense down, special. This actually is pretty good right here. I think this is also going to be reworked to, instead of just being hero brawler, as Young Avengers. This is actually really strong because you could be looking at a 400% damage special or plus, because then it can go up to 25% damage per hero brawler ally. So you could be looking up towards a 600% damage special right here if you were to max it out. So really strong right there. Her ultimate's not bad. It only clears a couple positive effects and then attacks primary target. So it's an okay ultimate right there. And then her passive isn't bad either because she gains max health, plus hero brawler allies get to gain more max health, so that helps with the tankiness of the team and sort of feeds into Kamala Khan, who's also a really tanky character. I'd say the only problem in the kit right now is she doesn't have a lot of synergy, and she's not like Captain Marvel where she's so good she doesn't need synergy. A lot of her stuff's kind of basic, and it just needs a little more in order for those skills to be actually good. I think her special and her passive are pretty good, but I think her basic attack and her ultimate could just a little more to make them really good skills, and she could be really good on a Young Avengers team. So we'll have to see how she works then. And then finally we have Miles Morales. He is going to be taken off the Spider-Verse team, unfortunately. I guess he just doesn't like Spider-Man that much, the guy he named himself after, to go on the Young Avengers team. So ignoring the fact that I'm not so happy he's leaving a Spider-Man team to join a Young Avengers team, Miles Morales is not that good in this game. I really like Miles Morales as a character. His comic book series when he first came out was one of the only comic book series I actually like read, like legitimately, like issue by issue. I have them mailed to my house. So I'm a big fan of Miles Morales because he's like one of the only Marvel characters I actually like read his comic book. His kit, it's not bad what he does, but he lacks in survivability. Most characters like him that do a lot of really, like, he sort of can stun people and slow people, have a little bit more in the way of survivability. He has survivability, but it's not enough to really help him out. Like right here on his basic attack, he gets a clear positive effects if the target is defense down. That's not... It's just hard to have somebody have defense down. This synergizes with Spider-Man because Spider-Man can apply defense down, but he's not going to be going with Spider-Man anymore. I think they're changing it so if he has a Young Avenger ally or something like that, this will clear the positive effects automatically. His special, really good right here. He'll sort of touch somebody and then he'll reduce their speed bar by 50%. And then he'll apply slow to them, and if you upgrade this more, it prolongs negative effects. So this is really strong right there, because say if somebody you don't want going, like in raids, for example, Mordo, you don't want Mordo applying heal block to the team because that really messes up the drain on the symbiotes. So what Miles Morales can do is he can slow Mordo down, and that gives you time to kill him. It's a very helpful skill. It's good, but the problem is, again, Miles Morales lacks in survivability, so you probably only get to use this once. His ultimate also pretty good, but the problem is you don't get to use it a ton. Attack all enemies for a decent amount of damage, apply disrupted to the primary target for 2 turns, plus disrupted to 1 or 2 additional targets if you upgrade it more. I think you could probably apply disrupted to the whole team. I think that would make Miles Morales suddenly a very competent character. Just doing that little change right there, applying disrupted to the whole enemy team would be pretty incredible. And this would take Miles Morales from somebody who has a bunch of like stuff in his kit that's really close to being incredible to being incredible. So I don't know, just a little idea for Miles Morales if you wanted to boost him up a little bit. See, this special is where he's supposed to get a little bit of survivability, but this isn't anywhere near enough. So on spawn, he'll get stealth, but that's it. He only gets stealth for 1 turn, and as soon as he goes, then you're back to, please don't kill Miles Morales. On turn, apply defense down to a random target. That's nice. And so anything else has this gimmick right here. If the already had defense down, he gains offense up. Instead, again, working with Spider-Man and stuff like that, how Spider-Man could apply defense down. And then during stealth, he gets 50% dodge chance. So really what I think needs to happen right here is I'd say he needs to get to be in stealth more often. Maybe after every basic attack, he'll enter stealth or something like that. I think that would be helpful. I mean, I like this gimmick where if he's in stealth, he gets plus 50% dodge chance. The problem is he needs that more often. He only gets to be in stealth for a turn. So this passive is really only useful for 1 turn of the game. And it's the starting turn, so it's not like you really need survivability for the starting turn, because hopefully he can survive 1 hit. I don't know what happens in the first turn that you're really that concerned about with Miles Morales. So I think what would help him out a lot is if 1, he got invisibility on his basic attack, and then 2, if he could apply disrupted to maybe the whole enemy team with the web blast. I think suddenly you'd be looking at a really good character with Miles Morales right here. So again, that's what these 3 characters' roles were. American Chavez and Miss Marvel led a brawler team, just sort of a bucket that caught a lot of characters, and Miles Morales was the worst part of the symbiote / Spider-Verse team. So I'll be very interested to see how the Young Avengers team work. I think with a little bit of touch-ups to these characters, plus Squirrel Girl coming and giving them Drain, which is going to be crazy, you could be looking at a really good team, maybe even a really good raid team. Lot of potential right there. I hope though this team is only temporary, and maybe one day they expand this into the Young Avengers and the Champions. This is just sort of a temporary team that's sort of a mishmash of those 2, and once we get more characters they can expand out. But that's just my thoughts as somebody who likes the Marvel lore a lot. And at the end of the day, what do I really know, because I'm only an 18-year-old. I bet everyone can have a happy and healthy day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Signing off, everyone.